Well, look at this. It's the
How are
three
you guys
ladies.
doing?
And
Three
you know-
ladies.
Yes,
Who are the three
I
ladies?
identify as a lady now. Yes, that's
Do
right.
you?
I have no words.
A hairy,
What size bra do you
a
wear? What size
bearded
pants on?
lady.
Jessica, what is going on with you? I have seen highs and lows in your week that just, I mean, like no other. Highs and lows. Where do you want to start?
Mostly lows.
I don't know.
Let's start. What?
I was there for a high. I don't know that it's mostly
Yeah, I was there
lows.
for a high too.
That did not feel like a high
No,
to me. No, because
John
I
was
don't
pretty
think a lot of
high.
my
John was very
John was
high.
pretty high. It was fun. It was a fun experience. Well, I don't even know if I can say that. Okay, so let's just get into it. So last week on Wednesday, I did an open mic night, and John was brave enough to join me. Clap for that. That was amazing. He was the one that killed.
Melissa was there.
No, I meant on the stage. Yes, Melissa was there.
Oh.
That said a lot in history. Melissa was there.
No, well, she's like, John was there, and she's clapping, and like Melissa was like the bubble gum on her shoe or something. That wasn't true. You were
No.
there. I'll tell you what, it was
She
one
was
of the
there.
reasons why I got up there.
Woohoo!
Really? That's sweet.
Well, yeah, because we were just talking about it, and I just said, well, it was that and that whole thing that was going on with Donald Trump tweeting to Russia, and I'm like, if I don't do it now, I might never get a chance to
Yeah.
do it. So I was thinking, what the hell?
Why not?
And I had just the right amount
Sure.
of Jack Daniels in me, where
What was that? 6 or 7 double Jack and Cokes?
No,
What was it?
I sat down, I figured it out. It was 4 double Jack and Cokes. That's what it was.
So 8 shots.
Mm.
Well, at least the last one.
8 shots.
The last one was
In
a
how
little
long
pale.
Of a period?
It was like
20 minutes.
no,
like a half hour.
no. There was a lot, and here's the other reason why I went up, because I couldn't have done worse than a lot of the comedians that were like the headliners there. They were
All right,
horrible.
so let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jess.
So here was my experience, and you guys can add in what you feel I'm getting wrong. But we get there, and it's dead empty. And the bartender's really nice, and she makes great drinks. So I have one rum punch, and then I have one something called liquid marijuana, which was true to its form and delicious. And bright green. And then the guy comes in who's running the show, who's hosting, and he said he's very nice and friendly, gives us the list. Tara and I sign up. Disa gets there with a very hot African-American man that she says they're just friends, and they met at the gym, and he's just there to support her. Yeah, right. And then
I'm hoping
he was
that's
so
not the case.
fine.
He's trying to
He
shoehorn
was,
his way in.
Mickey, you're so fine. He was so fine. So anyway, so then the 3 headliners go. So first the guy hosts, I forget his name, Fenris.
Yeah,
Fenris.
and he sang that really awkward, sexual, abusey, rapey song.
It was a song about incest or something.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't terrible, but it was terrible.
It was
And
terrible.
then
It wasn't terrible. It was terrible.
It was terrible.
It was a solid song, but it was terrible.
He's a nice guy,
Yeah,
but
oh man, it was
please
terrible.
lose that part
It
of
was
your
terrible.
act.
Yeah. Okay, so then the first guy comes on. I don't even remember him. Second guy comes on, the African American guy. He was great. And then the third guy comes on. He was a little too over the top for me.
Was that Bradley Cooper?
No. Oh, I forgot about those 2. No, I was talking about the headliner. So yeah, you're right. After Fenris came 2 open mic guys. One named Bradley Cooper, who was so baked he could barely speak, much less tell a joke. And then a girl who spent the entire 5 minutes discussing a whole involved story about how she had a drink and she lost it and she was looking for it and could she find it, but the drink was named Pussy. So I can't find my pussy. Do you know where my pussy is? Can you help me find my pussy? Like, it's so stupid. I wanted to kill myself.
Right. And then she's talking about how she couldn't believe she bought pussy. And I was like, yeah, okay, I get it.
It was so dumb. It was a way overplayed joke. And then the 3 guys, the last one of which annoyed me very badly. And then it was Tara's turn.
Why did the last guy annoy you?
Because he kept going like, He was like, "Who here does this? Where my homies at? Who here does this? Where my prejudice guys at? Who's it was just annoying me. He was just annoying me."
Is that the guy who took out the beatbox simulator thing and started to get a beat so he could do a quick rap about?
No, that was Zach Miller. I will never forget that dude's name. He was not a headliner. There's only 3 headliners, and they were the ones that actually got laughs. They were the ones that left before those other guys went up.
Oh, okay.
So, like, the guys from Philly were there. They were booked to be there. So, their career is going in a great direction.
I wonder how much they got paid. Like $25?
Dinner. Probably nothing.
Right.
Probably not even enough to pay for the gas that it took them to get there.
Wait, we could have gotten food? The food was an option there? What do you mean dinner?
No,
How'd
there
they
was
get
no
dinner?
food there. No,
That's
there was
true.
no
There was
food
no
there.
food.
I'm joking. There was no food there. There was no food there. It was all alcohol. Then Tara went, and I thought, I don't know what I thought about her act, because I don't know if she listens to the show, but if you do, Tara, your jokes weren't landing. My jokes weren't landing. A lot of jokes didn't land that night, so it's hard to gauge whether or not they were actually funny. I'm changing my act to be a little less about my kids for that reason, but like, I think she got some laughs.
She did.
I saw the video and she got laughs, so it must have been fun.
Yeah, she did.
And then I saw my video and I got some laughs at the beginning, but by the end, people were just talking over me, which is fine.
Jessica,
And then
I think you need
What?
to consider where you were and who the audience was.
Right.
I know.
You said
I know,
the audience
but
was
it's fine.
90% people who were there for open mic night to be comics, to stand up.
Yes,
And-
that's true. And also, Disa said that her friend had investigated the place to see what it was like, and she said that her friend said it was mostly hipsters. You can call them hipsters, but they were just furry and just stoned.
Yeah, they were burnouts. They were not hipsters.
Are a little better dressed, I think, than this crowd.
Right. They were not hipsters. So by the time you were up, you have to know your crowd. They were all high and drunk.
I did.
They were a hot
It's
mess.
fine.
So
It was just-
you talking about your kid, and you talking about, that's funny shit. It's just not funny to somebody who has to pee for the 10th time, or the room is spinning and they're picking their last meal out of their second beard. And I mean, it was a really weird crowd.
But here's the other thing,
I know.
too.
It was a very weird crowd.
I think what happened is you kind of gave up on your act because you weren't getting what you wanted out of the first couple jokes. And then you
True.
started rushing through. Because I think
Absolutely.
you're like, okay, I'm rolling through this and I'm getting the fuck off this stage. Here's the mic.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The first comedy class I took was 15 years ago, and one of the things she said is if you're not getting laughs, get the fuck off stage. So at any point during your act, you can just go, "That's my time," and go.
Right.
And I have done that now twice. So I've done stand-up 3 times. Once to an audience of all my friends and family, which, by the way, I did great. Am I hurting your ears? And then twice to crowds that didn't understand my humor. So I do not have the best track record as of yet, but it's fine. I'm still going to try.
I was at that successful one, wasn't I?
Yes,
Yeah.
you were.
To your
and
friends
you
and
laughed.
family. It was great. You were
Yeah,
hilarious.
you were. You and Stuart were there. Yep, it was great. So, yeah, I mean, I know the crowd was terrible. I know they were all, and not only that, but like the crowd was mostly, they weren't just comics, they were terrible comics.
It was bad. They were really
Terrible
bad. But that
comics.
should have given you confidence to say, you know what? The 3 of you who did your comedy class friends, the 3 of you got up more polished, less awkward. Like you could see that your shtick was in your head. Well, you did
Yeah.
have your phone, but in your head, and it was crafted. Like there was crafting to a story, and not like a suck my dick joke. Like it was better. Like it, as much as it's not the crowd for kid jokes, it's definitely the crowd for us to see how bad the other people were in comparison.
Yeah. You know, the best comic of the night by far was the man with no material, John.
Me?
I don't know how he got up there and fucking I saw that video too, John. You by far got the most laughs of any comic that night, including the ones that were paid.
Really? I didn't think. Well, first,
Yes.
okay. So first of all, I always wanted.
you
to,
remember
I've
of it.
always wanted to. I remember every second of it. Just so you know, every second of the 3 minutes and 14 seconds I had hold of the microphone.
Oh my God. Okay.
So what happened was, you guys, and I was sitting there listening. I'm like, you know what? I sat at open mic nights for years in the 80s with material and never had the gumption to get up there Because what I didn't realize is what Melissa said is these guys are other comics and they're not there to laugh. They're there just to, do their gig and everything. And then when I was there and I was listening to these other guys, I'm like, something? I could get up there and handle crashing and burning now. I couldn't then. I podcast now. I can handle it. So with that, I said, well, what am I going to do for material? Some of the comics were so bad. I'm like, I can do 5 minutes on the comics. I can riff on these comics. And that's what I did.
Endless material.
Oh my
God.
God.
You forgot about that angry psycho that just went up there and talked about how he hates everyone and his father never hugged him. What the hell was that?
That's the guy. That's the guy who said something about bombing. And I go, well, you can only go. I go, there's nowhere to go but up. And he heard me and he goes,
up from here.
He goes, that was rude. I'm like, sorry. It was like, it was so quiet that when I said it, the sound carried.
No, that wasn't that guy. You're wrong. That guy was Kyle, and he was funny, I thought.
Really? I'm telling you.
You mean the mailman that knew the owner?
Yes.
He was terrible.
Right.
Yes. I thought he was funny. The guy with the trucker hat was funny. I'm talking about the guy who was like a quiet fraternity brother until he got a hold of a mic and then told everyone that he would double team me and Tara because he was brave.
Oh, that's the guy.
He was the mailman who sat there quietly, who has a published book out that we should not read. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, we won't.
Right.
And he was terrible. You're right. He looked totally harmless, and then he opened his mouth, and you're like, what the fuck?
He said, I double team you two. I'm fearless, or what did he say he was?
I don't know what he said. He said he was brave.
I'm brave. And
First he said he was fearless, then he said he was brave.
And I said, they'll kill you.
You said they'll kill you, and then later he said something about how am I supposed to tell people my dad never hugged me? And I was like, you think it's not obvious?
Right.
And he was like, the newbies, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So again, I mean, it was so then when it was time to get up, and forget about that. Let's talk about the guy who sat there and had the bright blue shirt, the Gilligan hat, the guy who walked with his feet in front of him like he was trying to test for mines. That guy. What was his name? I forget.
So he's their Norm. He's a regular who's there every night, who has some sort of spinal something where he can't look up. He was getting drinks all night. He was totally loaded. And what we didn't realize was, as their mascot, he gives his own 5 minutes before the night's over. And his 5 minutes were totally incoherent. You couldn't understand a single thing that came out of his mouth. And he wanted to tell a story about working at a factory, and then
we don't know.
I have no idea.
Really knows what the
and
story
detailing
was about,
cars. He was.
Yeah, that's right. Detail. I mean, he was just a hot fucking mess. And luckily, John, you got to follow that hot fucking mess.
That was fine.
Mm-hmm.
No, you want to go after somebody who sucks like that, especially with your material where you mocked everybody who went on before you.
That is true. I was the closer. I did the closer. I was the closer. Melissa turned at me.
You were the closer, and you were fantastic.
Yeah, I signed up. I finally signed up, and then Melissa looked at me, and she scowled, and she goes, now I have to stay here till the end.
That's true.
I know, you did kind of ruin it for us leaving.
Yeah, we were like, okay,
I was a little bitter about that myself, to be honest.
Our girls are done. It's you know that's outside. That's my outside Melissa's box for the week. I left the house at like 8:30 or 8 something, and I got down there and I thought, okay, 9 o'clock. It's definitely my bedtime right now. So, or at least my night pants time. I need to put on my night pants. I need to.
Same.
So for me to be out, not to mention go through the 3 air quote headliners and then all the crackheads, and then hear you and your classmates do their thing. That was great. And then you're like, no, John, you should totally do it. And, I think you should too. So we're absolutely. We're building them up. I'm like, absolutely. You're hilarious. Do it. Wait a minute. What do you mean he's last? Last, and then the next 10 go? Like, what do you mean last? So yeah, it turned out he closed down the bar.
Yep.
Yeah. But then didn't leave for another hour and a half because he had to sober up in the parking lot.
Yep. That's all true. Every bit of that is true.
It's all true.
Which is why we should keep donuts in the back seat of our car on the regular.
I won't drink the next time. I won't drink because I know I'll have to get up there and remember. See, the problem was with me was that I forgot half of the
You needed
material.
the BALS.
I forgot half of the material that
How did you just spell balls?
Yeah, I did.
BALS.
Yeah, that's what I needed. Because I was sitting there and I was doubting
I
myself.
just wanted to see if you would pick up on it or not.
That ain't right.
And
that ain't right.
well, Jack started talking to me. He's like, "You're better than these guys. You could do this. First of all, you could do 5 minutes on Bradley
Who's Jack?
Cooper."
Jack Daniels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so then that's what I did.
Jack's a smart man.
He did okay. He encouraged you appropriately. That worked out well for you.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So I think that was a great high for you. I thought being able to stand up and go out and that's a high.
I agree.
Unfortunately, less than a week later, I see a picture on Facebook or Instagram or somewhere of one of your lows.
Yeah,
Jess,
she looks like she was beat up by the cops.
what happened? Tell our dear listener what happened.
Dear listener.
Our sole listener, what
I was
happened?
walking along, minding my business. I was in Brooklyn for an entrepreneurial contest. I was judging at Pratt Institute.
Woo!
I went there. I judged the contest. It was with my friend James from T Public, which is where we're going to design and make shirts.
Merch.
We were walking out to go to a bar, and there was a piece of broken sidewalk that my suitcase got caught on, which then tripped me on my right foot, fell on my right knee, and then slid into home on my face
God.
onto the cement.
Wow.
So, yes. So, like, first was just my face and my knee hurt really bad. But then yesterday when I woke up, I have like the whole right side of my tricep, my hip on this side, my ass, like everything hurts. Oh, and my ankle, which I rolled, that would be on this side, the left side. So
Why not put your hands out or tuck and roll or
because I had my suitcase in one hand and my purse in the other hand.
That's when that shit.
fell.
That's when you let that shit go. Like you let
Did you just
everything
say
go.
Tuck and roll.
Yeah, tuck and roll.
That's kind of like telling someone when you get in an accident not to put your hand out and cover the other person.
I disagree. I think it's the opposite.
It happened
I think
really fast. Not
I
fast
understand
enough.
that. It's almost, to me, self-preservation is instinct. Like, holy shit, my face is going to hit that sidewalk. Fuck that pocketbook. Fuck that suitcase.
Word for word, here is my thought process. Oh no, I rolled my ankle. Ow, my face is in the cement. There was no middle ground there.
See, it's funny because I do a lot of that stuff. I've rolled my ankle a lot. And when I'm going to the ground,
slow-mo,
everything slows down. So I'm like,
it was too
okay,
fast.
This is going to hurt.
There was no slow-mo for me.
Got to get the hands out.
Here it comes.
I was like, no, I rolled my ankle. I hope I don't. That's what happened.
And what did we decide the name of that part of your nose was? Right above your lip divot.
Did you call it nose taint?
It's your nose taint.
Your nose taint. Yeah, it's that piece of skin that it's taint your lip and it taint your nose.
It's in between the two nostrils. It's really swollen on the inside of there. Like, it feels 3 times as big, which is why I thought my nose was broken, because this part is so swollen on the inside.
Still might be. I mean, they're not going to do anything for you. It's a wait it out and see if you want to correct what this tremendous fall did for you.
Listen, we can give you a Melissa nose. We can give you a J-Lo nose.
Very cute.
We can give you an Anna Faris nose.
Smaller, shorter. I think I'd be hot with a tiny nose.
You think so? What would hold up your glasses?
I'll get LASIK too while
you're at it.
While you're in there.
I'm under. Have a field day. What else you got? How about some porcelain veneers?
Yeah.
What else you got?
How about a big old liposuction? Can we do that too while we're down there? While we're out
there.
Out and about?
What are they doing down there to fix your face?
Down as in down for the count, not down.
Oh, I gotcha. All right, so you're a bloody mess.
Fell on my face. Bloody mess. Went to the bar, drank 3 giant things of alcohol, and then went home. It was beautiful.
Great.
So you went from there to the train station, got on a train, and went home?
Yep, and then drove myself home with a full-on concussion.
Did you cry at all?
No. Nope, I didn't. No, you know what? I didn't, which is odd because Yeah, yes. When I first stood up, my face was tearing, but not crying. But like my eyes stung like I had a fever.
Well, you probably had pebbles in your eyes at that point, and maybe gum.
I did.
And
You're
yeah,
right.
okay.
I did. No, I didn't cry, which is I didn't, probably because I was trying to save face at that point.
Yeah, I don't think you're
I was trying to shake it off like nothing hurt.
Like there had to be cursing.
And then on the way to the bar, I'm like, I'm fine, no big deal. And James's boss, his old boss, was like, I think you have blood running down your face.
Great. That's
really
great.
my only
And I was
question.
Like,
my only question for
Gee.
me would have been: are all of my teeth still in my head?
That's
Can
true.
somebody please
I could
check
feel
my
them.
teeth?
I kept going like this to make sure they weren't loose.
That's all that I
So,
would have
like,
cared about. You want to
Right.
scratch up
I
my
did.
face? That's fine.
I actually thought I would have a bloody nose and that it was broken, so I kept like going like this to make sure I wasn't bleeding, but it wasn't. It was bleeding. This part was bleeding, the bridge of my nose. And actually, I attribute that to the fact that, like, when I was a kid, I dove off the deep end of a swimming pool and swam right into the shallow end without looking, and scraped all the skin off my nose as a kid. So I always
my
get really
God.
sunburnt there because I have no skin on my nose. So of course it would just come right off again. But there's none there to begin with.
That's the worst.
So.
Ugh.
That's probably why I was bleeding from there anyway. Is because I have no skin there anyway.
I watched a neighbor girl fall on her rollerblades, and she got a really bad abrasion on her leg. Like, you could see her skin still on the sidewalk. And as she stood up, it was just white, her leg. And then out of nowhere, blood dots started appearing. And then she started shooting across the neighborhood. And I was like, okay, let's wrap this around your leg. Grabbed her sister. Go get your parents right now. Your sister's falling apart. And I'm tying off her leg. It was the grossest. But I know that abrasion is what stings so badly. So to have that on your face has to be so... that's why I would have been like, that's my "are you fucking kidding me" kind of cry. Like,
but actually, what hurt was my lip because my teeth went into my lip and I bit here, like my top lip. It was all swollen here. So a lot of it, what still hurts, actually, is like it's almost as if I got karate chopped and uppercut to the teeth and nose.
That's the picture,
and that's what hurts. Is like from here, from like nose to mouth.
Well, thank God you held on to your pocketbook.
Even.
Well, that's the picture you have on Facebook or somewhere that has that under your lip, that explosion, that gross. You have a hump down there now too. That's great. It's great. It makes eating.
I mean, I don't think I held on to it. I think I just landed on my face.
Okay.
So Annie's son was playing Foursquare, and he had the ball, and he didn't want to lose. So he held the ball, and he was falling and did not put his arms out because he wanted to win the game. And he wound up with a concussion for months and months and months because he would rather take the hit to the head and the cement than for you lose your bag or luggage, or for him lose the game. So he won the game and then sat out of school for 4 months. Yeah, it's a trade-off.
So my son, when he was 10, was doing this thing where he was on his arms swinging in between two desks. Back and forth and back and forth.
You see it coming, John? You see it coming?
Legs came out. They came up a little too high,
and the
he
desk
landed
slide
right
out
on his face.
Oh man!
And he broke his nose, and we had to take him to. It was terrible.
I seen a kid do that.
He's had surgery on it. He still can't breathe. I'm waiting for him to finish growing so we can fix it once and for all. But he was only 10 when he broke it. I mean, he smashed his face into smithereens.
Damn.
It was awful. 2 black eyes, the whole thing. I think I have a picture of him somewhere. He was all proud of himself. He never cried either, and his nose was full on broken.
Yeah, because what happens is you get up, and then it wasn't that his legs were too high. It was the pressure he's putting on the desk wasn't down anymore. It was out, and the desk just go out, and it's just a straight face down. You can't even get your hands in quick enough in that amount of distance.
It was a big old disaster.
But that's the like that's it's like definite. What do you see? Those little birds swimming around your head, stars.
Yes, yeah.
I had my face had a collision with the gym floor. My mother never let me have kids over after school. And in elementary school, she gave me this one play date where 2 friends were coming home with me, and the biggest kid in school tripped during indoor recess, and my face smashed into that gym floor.
Ow.
That shellacked floor. And I had a fat lip, a bloody nose, a black eye. Like, I had it all. And I'm like, no, I want my friends to come home with me. Like that, there was no way I was giving up that one play date. I think it was my first and last, but I wasn't letting it go.
That is funny.
I even remember his name and found
That
him on
sucks, though,
Facebook.
that the one day you're allowed to have friends over.
I was laying down with ice packs on my face as they played with my Barbies, is how that worked.
Oh,
And I hope you're
Missy.
listening. I miss you guys.
Oh, my God.
I wish we could play because we never got the chance. Yeah,
Aw,
crazy.
honey.
Crazy. But we all have a face
That's
plant
sad.
story. I mean, it's not as bad as a
It's
horse
funny
kick
'cause
to the
it's
face,
sad. Well, it's not as bad as a horse kick to the face. Also, when you're 40
but it's
something
embarrassing.
and you're walking and you're 100 pounds overweight and you're walking with two younger, strapping guys, the last thing you want is to face plant on the cement. I instantly felt 100 pounds heavier and 50 years older than them. Whether it was true or not, it was like instant humiliation that I'm still not past. I don't know if I'll ever get past it.
That probably hurts more than the fall itself.
Do you think they're podcasting about it right now?
Oh, but they're talking about it.
No. I don't know what James. Yeah, I'm sure they talked about it. I'm sure.
Holy
they did.
shit, you should have seen Jessica go down.
We saw it in slow motion. She thought it happened quickly, but we definitely saw it in slow motion.
Right.
Well, James said the first thing he thought when I went down was, "I'm so sorry," because he felt responsible because he invited me there.
How
Right.
about he didn't carry
he
your
felt
bag?
guilt.
I wonder
like
if he
he
was
had done
sorry because
something.
you didn't know how to walk, or what was
That he
this-
didn't carry your bag for you?
It was a full-on broken sidewalk, like 2 different levels.
Right. Or was he sorry that he couldn't catch you? Or was he sorry he invited
I
you?
was sorry he couldn't catch me.
That he pushed you out of the way into the
He didn't
divot?
push me out of the way.
Right. Or
No,
was
none of
he sorry
happened.
that he invited you? I'm so sorry I invited you.
Probably
Look,
that one.
this is going to
Sorry.
ruin the night.
I'm sorry I made you leave your cushy house where everything is perfect and nobody gets hurt. Yes, I did
Probably
tell you
that.
who told you to leave the house. That was definitely my first response.
Yep, that was very smart. That's
Well,
very good advice. Don't.
That'll
just don't
learn
go
you.
outside.
Not going to do that again. Let me ask you a question. What does it take for you to put a sticker on your car or truck?
It would have to be mandatory. Like, in
Okay.
other words,
Yeah.
if I had to park somewhere and it was a parking permit or
Okay.
yeah, something like that.
So,
That's not
My-
true. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, what would you put on your car? So you said that's not true. There is something that you were proud enough about that you want everybody to know?
Well, in other words, I wouldn't put a bumper sticker on, but in my truck, there's a back window there. And I would put an Eagles emblem or maybe my favorite stock car driver or something like that
So
on
it's
there.
sports team. We're talking a
Yes.
sports team, something you're super
That.
proud of and that you
That's-
want everybody to know.
Yeah, that's right. I'm an Eagles fan. That's right.
So I'm going to send you a picture of a bumper. It's to your phone, so I apologize. Okay. Jessica John, what would it take for you to put a bumper sticker or any sticker on your car? Repeat. Okay, so what happens?
I would just never do it because it makes the car unsellable. And also,
Look at that.
I actually used to do it when I was young. Don't you remember?
Yes.
Like my Honda had a bunch
Yes.
of stuff on it, but like I wouldn't do it as an adult. Never.
Well, but the thing about it is we can figure out exactly who the person is by looking at these
Who
bumper stickers.
you are. Okay, so ready for this? My brother goes to drop his child off at a friend's house. And there's only one car in the driveway.
And this is it?
And this is it. Did you see it?
Yeah, I wouldn't drop my kid off there.
So that's the debate. I said, sit in the driveway, don't go anywhere. So I'm showing them a picture of a car that has a lot of,
It has a middle finger. It says "fuck Cuomo." It says
Comrade Como.
NRA stand and fight. It says, yeah.
It has a
You know what?
picture
I'll
of-
tell you something. One time I went to leave Emily at a house that had like a McCain.
McCain.
Palin.
Sarah, what's her name?
Palin.
Yeah, McCain Palin, and I had to seriously consider whether or not I could leave her there, much less this car.
Yeah, so that's kind of mild. That's mainstream crazy, as opposed to there's a picture
would do
here
it.
of Hello Kitty holding an assault rifle. Like, What's happening here? Like what?
I didn't even notice that, but you're right. That's pretty
Well,
creepy.
you
And it
know,
says-
Hello Kitty might have to protect herself.
John,
There might be
John,
somebody
it's a little
out there
crazy.
trying to
John.
what?
stop it.
It's a little cray-cray.
It's ridiculous. It's got the middle finger twice. It's got Obama trauma. It's got, I assume that's Ron Paul.
Okay, so like I said, it tells you everything about this guy. So what happens is this guy's a conservative.
Wait, it gets better. It's not just conservative. He has 2 stickers here for InfoWars. Do you know who Alex Jones is?
Absolutely, who doesn't?
Okay, so you have 2 stickers on your car for InfoWars, which is just lunacy. I mean, there's nobody who can really argue that that's not lunacy.
Oh,
Go ahead, John. I fucking dare you.
wait a
I'll
minute.
take you down.
No, first of all, he does have fans. I'm not a fan of Alex Jones. Just so you know, I'm not.
I'm not saying he doesn't have fans, but we just discussed what it took to put a sticker on your car.
Oh,
and there's
absolutely.
a degree of passion, like for you and your sports teams.
He wants to let every liberal know not to mess with him. That's
Not
what
to
that's
drop
about.
your kid at his house.
Right. See, in other words, there's two different types of people in this world. There's conservatives and liberals. And I wouldn't let a liberal in this house. So it's that kind of thing. And you know, again, I so any kind of what is it when you're upset, any kind of obsession like that is an issue. Like if you're that obsessed with something.
Like Eagles fans, you mean?
Yes. Yeah. That can be
Yes.
that can be over the top obsession too. Yes, it can be. Absolutely.
But when you're obsessed with being a fan of something that's positive,
What's positive?
it's one thing. Being part of a team and being
I see what you're saying.
that could be seen as pro something. These seem to me like anti things, which really freaks me out. Do you drop your 11-year-old kid at this person's house?
No. Mm-mm.
Even you said no.
No. Now, just the InfoWars things would have made me say, stay in the car. We're going to,
Wait here.
I'm going to make a phone call. You're not going.
I didn't even notice Hello Kitty had an assault rifle. What did you do?
Is that
what did you end up doing?
really the biggest thing that's the biggest problem? Is that Hello Kitty?
No, the Cuomo stuff is a little
Right.
extreme as well.
Yeah.
What was their deal? Who was this? Whose car was it?
All right. So I said, I have to know, what'd you do? He said, well, what would you do? I'm not telling you what I did until I find out what I would have done. So I said, I would have gone and said, you know what? It's such a beautiful day. Give me your kid. We're going out for ice cream. I'm not dropping my kid at that house. Come with me. We're going to go out for ice cream. We'll get milkshakes, and then we'll go back to our house where you could play with my 2 junkyard dogs. Like, come play with dogs, and I cannot leave my child. I can't. That is 3 steps too far for me.
And the
But
thing
he
about
did-
it is, he is just.
So you didn't
he's
leave
just
I wouldn't. He did.
right.
He stayed, though. He said, I stopped to talk. He did say, wait here. He went in. He rang the doorbell.
So Stuart took this picture and sent it to you.
No. This is
Her
not
brother.
This is not us.
Oh, her brother.
Oh,
Why
I would-
am I not getting it?
I would
I'm
have
sorry, I
killed
missed
Stuart.
it.
I would have killed him. I would have been
Oh
like,
God,
"My
I really do
child."
still have a fucking concussion, don't I?
You do have a concussion.
Yeah,
That's
I think
okay
so.
because you're potting through it.
Podcasting through head injuries with Jessica.
So he said
Kupferman.
he stayed and he hung out for a while and he talked to the guy and his girlfriend, and it was I mean, I couldn't have done it. I said I would have picked up that kid and said, I have a great idea. Let's go. I don't care what it costs or where we go. I can't leave you in this. Plus, if Hello Kitty has a gun, how are you telling me you don't have guns in this house and you don't have, like, I couldn't do it. Instead of asking the uncomfortable questions, I would have just scooped up their kid, had a play date at my house with ice cream and hot fudge and sprinkles and happiness and running in the backyard like idiots with dogs.
Would you take your kids and leave them at Jessica's house? Melissa, would you leave your kids at Jessica's house?
Yes, of course she would.
I would
What's wrong with me?
absolutely leave my kids at Jessica's house. Are you talking about Scott's family's guns in their house?
Yes.
Do you think Scott uses those guns in their house?
Scott has shot guns with his father, so he knows how to use them, and they have guns
At
in
a
the house.
range.
I'm just saying, there's guns
He
in the
has a
house.
concealed
You
carry
said,
license.
how do you know there's no?
They're not in the house. First of all, they're in the garage. They're behind a safe that can only be opened with his fingerprint.
Right.
And
so what I'm
rectal
saying,
and
yeah.
I tried to say retinal scan, but it came out as rectal scan.
Rectal scan.
Could you imagine? This safe
You need a
only
rectal
opens-
scan to open that would be clever.
The hardest part is to line your asshole up with the
That'd be
sensor.
really clever.
You need a mirror. You got to
Yeah.
back it in. Hold on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I
a little
love this
bit,
idea.
A little to the left.
Sorry.
Beep, beep, beep. Okay, you can open it now.
Yeah. So would I leave if Jessica has a 3-year-old in that house? Yeah, I mean, I asked one parent before. It was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done. I asked her, dropping her off in Mallory off somewhere.
What I see
Hey,
is
I
a
know
lot
this
of
is awkward.
prejudice. A lot of prejudice here that you're espousing because of
I think what you
somebody's.
hear is a lot of safety here. That's what you hear.
you think you're
Aren't
saying.
you? Wait, are you one of those moms that says like there are things going on right now where you don't arrange a play date for your kid unless you text the person and ask if they have guns in the house?
I did ask a mother when I went there. I said, "Hey, I'm just asking. This is probably the most awkward question I've ever asked anybody. And do you have guns in your house?" And my next question would have been,
But I would have said,
Are they
yes,
locked
but
up?
they're in the garage in a safe.
"Are they
Yeah,
locked
they're
up?"
locked up.
Yeah. All right. Well, girls. And then I would have said, "Okay, girls, have fun. Mallory, stay the fuck away from that safe. You hear?"
Right,
Well, they don't even know where it is.
right. Because I hear it has
Isaac will never know where it is.
a rectal scanner.
Yeah, I did mean to say
I know, it's just
retinal,
uncomfortable.
but but if only your ass opens it, then it's fine.
That's just uncomfortable.
Yeah, it has the latest in retro mapping of balloon knots. Yes, the rectal
Oh my god. So I always prefer that the kids hang out here.
Sensor.
So because that was a horribly awkward conversation that I had, and I did not.
That's how I feel, but my house has guns.
Don't you have the old guns? Don't you have like the old shotgun? Don't you have like the old what they
I
meant?
have,
They can't
there's
kill
at least
anybody.
5
The old
different- I
guns
don't know.
can't
I've
kill
never seen
anybody.
them. I don't have a concealed carry license. Scott got the license. His father passed away. He got the guns. He brought them here.
Right.
I think he has sold one or two. He sold whatever the big one was, like the AR, whatever, the assault rifle. He sold that to a cop. The other ones now, I think, are little handguns, and they are in a safe in the garage with a
So what you're talking about is a very
Fingerprint access.
responsible gun owner.
very
Okay.
yes.
So if you have a very,
my older children don't know where those guns are. They never
Right.
asked.
I tell you
Scott
what,
never told
I
them.
love the way you just grab that microphone stand and shake it. That makes such great audio.
Is this a good
Really
time for
appreciate-
all
really-
of us?
Oh my god!
Really
Stop!
appreciate
Stop!
She can't hear it. That's the problem. She can't hear herself. So this,
I can't hear it.
Oy. Again.
that's what that sounds.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'll stop now. All right, we get it. You're killing me.
That wasn't me. That was Sean.
Good
That was
Lord.
me.
All right, so that was a real head shaker when he said he left her there. I couldn't fathom it. But I
Right.
prefer all the kids to play here. That's just my preference. I prefer them to play here because that way.
But I feel that
I
way
can
too. Should I not? Because I
Okay,
have
so let
guns
me
here?
ask you these. So let me just put the shoe on the other foot, ladies.
put it.
So here comes somebody that's going to come over and play over at your house, but they don't want to leave their kid at your house because of your liberal views.
Oh,
My
that's
views.
ridiculous.
My views aren't going to kill them, and if that's their thought, they should leave right now because they're not smart enough to play with my kids. Move on. What's your next question?
I'm just saying. I mean, how do you feel having somebody judge
can't
you
compare
by your views?
You can't compare
Sure you
views
can.
by a weapon that kills people. No, you can't. Kids are stupid and curious, and
Well, if they're, most people, most responsible, law-abiding gun owners will take and lock them up.
Yeah, what parent is going to be like, yeah, we have guns here, but they're just like lying around the house.
Yeah, they're just lying around the house.
It's all cool.
Doesn't your kids know how to use a gun? All right, well, he better not stay here because they're laying all over the place.
okay,
I mean,
get in the
there's
car.
no
We're out of
way
here.
of getting the right answer. You know?
Right. It's just that everybody's afraid now. Like, yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. I
Because
understand what you're saying.
when we were in school and we were kids were still getting into their dad's lockbox and they were still shooting each other. And we still went to school minus that empty desk next to us that had a kid who was playing with the other kid on the other side of the room who he was playing at his house. And now this kid's missing because he shot himself in the face. And I mean, that still happened when we were kids.
Right.
Right.
It's called,
Thanks, John.
it's
Right.
called the gene pool
Right.
cleansing itself.
Right.
Why don't you eat some Tide Pods while you're at it?
Right.
Darwin had a definite theory there.
That's right. Yeah, it's just the gene pool cleansing itself. You know, some people just aren't smart enough to live. This is how it works. Eating Tide Pods,
Yeah.
sucking condoms through your nose and out your mouth, that kind of thing. Right.
Condom snort. That's right. Because they're so smart.
Right. And these are the kids that we're going to listen to on policy because they're so educated.
Well,
Listen,
I hope they smarten the fuck up before they hit
of course
policy
they
age.
will. They're going to, yeah, either the dumb ones, the really dumb ones will die. And then what'll happen is the other ones, when their brains form at 25, you know, they'll be okay. We'll be all right. Hopefully.
Yeah.
It's
You
just when
think
they get in,
The only thing.
when they get into their 50s and 60s, they start losing their mind again. And that's when they're running shit. That's when you got to worry.
You think we'll be all right, John?
I don't know. Who knows?
The only thing I ever found when I dug deep in my parents' stuff was porn. And I'm sorry I ever did.
Mm-hmm.
That made me very sorry. I found a videotape that I thought was Dirty Dancing.
Because it said Dirty Dancing.
No, it said Dirty Prancing,
Oh, clever.
but it was in pencil, very, 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 very tiny. And
I do love the clever
it was
porn
not Dirty
spin-offs.
Oh, they're the best. You know, I have a whole list of porn. One time I had an idea where I was going to have my own nail polish line and name it porn names. I think I'm a genius sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
It's a great idea.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to find the list for you. Here are my porn star nail polish colors. You ready? Ew, some of these are gross. Ballsack blue.
I'd probably wear that one.
Or gray. Comes in blue and gray. Depends on the temperature and the age of the nail polish.
Ow, fuck, that's hot red. Big O orange. Stinky pink.
Ooh.
Big black.
Makes your nails
Rub
longer.
it red. Yeah. Rub it red. Purple head. Cherry pop. Pearl necklace.
Jesus
I'm not
Christ,
sure why
you're
this
popping into
one's
that
funny.
microphone so loud.
Pearl necklace. Fluffer nutter beige. I'm not sure why that was funny. And then whips and chains excite me, which would be a metallic one.
There you go.
That's an Allison
What
Chains,
do you
yeah?
guys think?
Allison Chains. Write that down.
You guys
I like it. I think it would work.
think?
Yes. Allison Chains, and it's silver.
I think it would be awesome.
You need a gold name.
Sorry,
though,
I got
too.
too close to the mic, I guess. A gold one?
Yeah, you would need a name for a gold one.
I couldn't
Like,
think of any gold. I couldn't think of any gold sex things.
Right.
Like, what's gold?
The only issue with this, the only problem is nail polish is involved. If we could just have the
Well, what
smart,
should I have
clever,
been naming?
the clever, smart, fun stuff.
Colors?
Yeah, sure. Crayons. Crayons would be better. Now you have to deal with.
Porn star crayons. What would they need them for?
well,
Oh,
there's a lot of
Jessica.
adult
Every-
colorers now.
Every porn
Yeah,
star
adult
has their
coloring
nails
books.
done now. And makeup. Maybe these should just be like a makeup line just for porn stars. And those are the colors.
How about adult coloring books, like color by number porn?
Listen, feel free to do what you want with it. I've not started a business with this idea, so
There you go.
it's anyone's for the taking. Maybe I'll use it as a stand-up piece. I don't know.
Right.
Moving along.
Let's go.
Speaking of prejudices,
Yes.
did I tell you guys about my prejudice last time?
I don't
You
think
did not.
No.
I do have one prejudice. I am prejudiced against one group of people.
Let's
Which
hear it.
is
Bodybuilders.
okay.
I do not like. I think they are. You show me an oiled up person who's competing in bodybuilding contest, and I will show you a smelly moron who can only talk about subjects that relate to themselves. A vain, vapid, stupid, smelly person. That's what I think about bodybuilders.
Okay.
I'm very prejudiced against
Do you
them.
know any bodybuilders?
Yeah, her first husband.
I know former bodybuilders, but none that are actively bodybuilding at this moment. Actually, I knew an owner of a gym and he wasn't really like that. But I think it's the whole process of like constantly working on your body so that you can win some contest that I find appalling. Frankly.
I'm kind of watching what I say. I have a friend who lost half of himself and
that's different.
And has dedicated through intense fitness and has dedicated his life to encouraging other people to do the same.
That's fine.
Which I think is amazing.
That's not the same as competition.
Right. He's not competing. He's encouraging others to.
There's nothing wrong with exercising.
I'm not talking about
I disagree.
fitness junkies.
Right.
Fitness junkies are fine. There are a lot of people that substitute heroin for fitness, and they survive and stay sober because they work out. It's like it's a dopamine switch.
Strike that, reverse it.
And,
right. It's a addiction for addiction swap.
Yeah, which is fine. That's not the same as oiling up, working on each muscle set.
That's right. That's right, John
and
said.
And then wearing a tiny little bikini and then making flex positions for people
in a cock
and
sock.
taking pictures of yourself. Just all of it is repulsive.
That's right, John said.
Not exercise.
I pick things up, I put them down.
I pick them up, I put them down. I pick things up, I put them down.
That's right.
I pick it up, I put it down.
I'm trying to defend them, and I just can't.
Well, you don't see. Here's the thing about prejudice.
Why would you try to defend them? You know I'm right. I am right about the bodybuilders. They are vapid and terrible.
I don't have any
And I'm going to
experience.
stand by that.
Could you imagine a Jersey bodybuilder?
Wow.
Jessica, that's your nemesis.
They wouldn't even be able to walk
Just kill
upright.
me now. I
Your
know
arch
Jersey
enemy.
bodybuilders. Just watch the Jersey Shore, and you'll see Jersey bodybuilders.
That's true.
The stupidest, most vapid people in the world are on that television show. And actually, someone told me I should start watching it again because it's hilarious.
I'll take your word for it because I have zero tolerance for that, for stupidity.
All of reality TV is stupid. I am of the opinion that if you watch reality TV, you are fooling yourself. None of it is real. It is all pretend, and it is all the stupidest people, especially on The Bachelor.
Obviously.
That show is the number one reason that our society is burning straight to hell is The Bachelor.
Agreed.
She just knocked her microphone the fuck out.
All right, agreed. But Jessica, do you watch the show? This is like podcasting 0.010.
All right. What were you saying, Melissa?
Do you watch the TV show Unreal?
No, I've never heard of it.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's about The Bachelor, but it's a fake Bachelor, just like the real Bachelor. It's a fake Bachelor, and it shows how behind the scenes they completely manipulate all of the contestants and the Bachelor and production, and it has them, nothing good's happening. We'll give them more alcohol and do that. Like, they totally manipulate every aspect of the show, and there's lots of sex, and it's dark and it's awesome. I like things that are dark and awesome. Speaking of which, am I the only one watching The Mick?
I stopped watching it.
No, I love The Mick. I stopped watching it, though.
Why? It's still so awesome. Why?
She plays such a dirty clam on that show that I can't.
Oh, I hate when you say that.
That's terrible.
I don't even know what that
I hate
means.
when you say that.
It's like she's like filthy.
Dirty clam? You don't know what that means? Take a guess.
Yeah, but I don't know how he means it in relation to her. I don't see it. I love her.
Well, see, the thing is, it's like she's like dirty and white trash is trashy, and I don't know.
Did you ever watch Married with Children?
Yes.
Did you like that show?
Both. I know what you're talking about. And yes,
Did
same
you get
thing.
the impression that anybody there ever showered or was less than pure white trash?
Well, no. Well, maybe the Marcy, the lesbian next door neighbor.
Next door, yeah. Well,
Right. I think she
you know what
showered.
happened with her husband, so
Yes, true. Then she got the second husband, which is the guy from Happy Days.
yes,
McKinley.
Yeah, that's right.
McKinley or whatever his name is. And I forgot what we were even talking about. Oh,
The Mick. So
The
I
Mick.
love The Mick. I think she's great, and I think
Mick,
that
yeah,
First of all,
she's really
I
funny.
think the actress is phenomenal. I mean,
They
I
just-
love
brilliant.
her. I don't like that character.
Yeah.
Just so we
What
could
else has she
separate the
done?
two. She was in Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Okay.
Yeah, she was in
Okay,
that.
she's great.
Yeah,
They
she's,
just had the season finale, I think, last night or whenever I watched it yesterday.
right.
And I was stunned, but I was like, oh my God, I care about these people. What is this? This is like degenerates, really, or just mooching off of it. Just the fact that I cared. And I thought, who can I even talk to about this? Is anybody still watching this show? Am I the only one? And it was great.
Yeah, I think
But
you're
it's
the only
definitely
one.
scripted. I am. Well, dear listener, if you too are watching the Mick, write us. Tell me about it. If you're not going to write us and tell us about our show, tell me something. We're talking about followers, Jess. Do you know who doesn't?
Yep.
Do you know who doesn't follow you? John doesn't follow you.
I know.
Do you know why?
He doesn't like me. That much.
No, that's not why.
I forgot.
Why?
You posted if you're a fan of Trump or John. What was her post that made you say?
You know what? I don't even remember.
Hold on. You unfollowed me on Facebook?
Yes,
You told him to.
you told me to.
He followed
I-
directions.
Did you unfriend
It's an
me?
excellent editor.
Yes, because you came on there and said if you don't think that we should lift people up and something about whiteness, and I was like, click. So, okay, unfollow.
Then delete me now or unfollow.
I just
her.
unfollowed her. I didn't delete her. I didn't block her. I don't see her stuff anymore. But see, you didn't know.
Wow, that's
Hey,
something.
how about that? Charlie Chaplin's birthday was today. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 71
I said,
years
John.
old.
I said, John, did you see what Jessica posted? He said, no, I don't see her post anymore. She made me unfollow her.
Hang on, I'll follow her.
You would think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would start shrinking. He seems still pretty damn tall.
He did shrink. He went from 7'6" to 7'4", but nobody really notices.
Not after that 7'2" mark. Nobody really notices.
Right.
It's different weather up there too. Jessica, hey, how about some of those celebrity birthdays?
Why should I say anything? You're not going to follow me on Facebook. What's the point?
What's
Never
the
mind.
point?
I sent a friend request.
Oh, now she has to approve you.
Yeah,
That's
now
never
she has to
good.
approve me. That's not going to be good.
Just
You unfriended me?
I unfriended you.
unfollowed.
Unfriended. I still followed. There's difference.
He unfriended me.
Yes, because
you
of
son
what
of
you
a
wrote.
bitch.
I didn't mean to start a fight.
Well, that's what happened. You say that kind of stuff. You say, if you do this and don't do this and this and that, then you better unfollow me or unfriend me. You can unfriend me right now.
And you know what? Go back to the way it was. If
Which
that's
is?
true,
Don't
and
accept
that's
him.
what you think. I don't even remember what I wrote, but I just remember thinking,
Hmm?
oh, it says, if you're the kind of person that thinks by promoting or serving only women or people of color that it's prejudice to white people, unfriend me. I can't deal with the nonsense.
That's it.
And you unfriended
That's
me.
right.
Because you think that if you're going to promote or serve people of color only, that it's prejudice to white people.
Yes, I do.
Okay, you guys should not be friends.
Because you use the word white people, and that's prejudice towards white people. And the people that don't understand that crack me up. See, I think we should all just lift everybody up, no matter who they are. White, black, Asian.
So here's the
Female.
Except that white people have had a lot more head starts.
so
Which is why
so I really
people
think,
choose
John,
to
your
only
white
serve people of
privilege.
color.
My
I think
white
you're
privilege.
Yeah.
I think your white privilege is at such a height that when other people are raised up to be equal to you, it feels like you no longer have that crazy privilege and you want to be higher. Seeing
That's
raising
not-
people up,
That's
they're
not
not
true.
saying raise people up past you. They're saying raise people up to be equal with you and
I'm
white
all,
privilege.
I'm all for
Yeah.
that. I'm
What's wrong
all
with
for
that?
that. No.
But it's uncomfortable.
Read that again, Jessica.
Lead
Read that
the
because
lead
I
that you
no-
have had on privilege is now
No,
shrinking,
He
and it's
doesn't like the
uncomfortable.
idea of people serving, or he doesn't like the idea of people only serving
that's
one
it.
area.
That's it. That's what I don't like.
Which actually, Melissa, is why he started listening to She Podcast, because it was for women only, and that pissed him off.
That's not true. I started listening because it was a podcast about podcasts. I found out it was for women
And I
only.
think it still pisses you off that you can't be in that group.
No, I'm over it now. Honestly, I'm over it now. And the thing about it is,
But maybe someday you'll be over this.
well,
too.
here's the thing. It's like I look at podcasters as podcasters. I don't say, oh, well, there's a woman podcaster and there's a African-American podcaster and there's an Asian podcaster. I look at
you
people's
do,
podcasters.
but other men don't.
Okay, but I'm not other men. So in other words, what
You're
we should do,
enlightened.
we should start this, instead of saying, let's raise these people up instead of these people, we should just say, hey, let's enlighten everybody to make everybody the same and help everybody. That's the
think that's
message
the
that we can all get behind. But when you pick up a one group of people and pit them against another group of people, there's going to be an issue. And I've had that
That's just
problem.
the thing. You're the one who sees them pitted against each other.
Sure, it is.
I don't hear it that way. I hear it that you want to raise women up. I'm not saying raise women up and push men down. You're hearing it a way that it's not being said.
I want to raise women up. Okay? I work with women all the time. I want to raise women up.
I
all
believe
right?
that.
All right. I don't want to raise women up and only work with these groups of people because of these groups of people have been doing it longer or had been in power longer, whatever. The guys that have been in power longer have been paying the dues longer. Okay. They've been doing things longer. Here's the other thing that cracks me up. I've been white most of my life. And, when I went to work and stuff like that, we still.
What happened before?
Yeah, I wasn't going to ask. Let him go. He's on a roll. Go ahead. Most of
my life. So when you go to work, we still have the people between, the white people, we still have the same issues of trying to get up that ladder. And we still have jerks that do things and push us down. And even guys, like guys talk to guys the same way guys talk to women. I know you don't believe that but it's true. But the problem is that guys have been treating guys that way so long, it doesn't bother us anymore. Okay. And women are being treated by guys and not used to that because guys never treated women like that because they all wanted sex. So now the guys are like, well, okay, you're in the business world. I'm just going to treat you like a business person. I'm actually treating you like an equal. I'm treating you like I would treat a guy, and they can't handle it. Yes.
Who?
Yes.
Me?
Yes. So what happens is
I can handle it.
Okay, well, you can handle it, but a lot of
Who
women
can handle it?
Some women can't handle when, they get talked to like a guy.
And some people at the drive-through window give you tea.
Yes.
I mean, you're not going to
Instead of
take an
coffee.
entire race, and you're not going to take an entire peoples, and you're not going to make comments about people like that. It's certain people, and that does not make a race or a problem. It makes people wanting to be equal.
It makes people individuals.
Right.
Stupid
Yeah.
as
And
they
you
may
can
be.
and you can have
treat
definite
people
problems with.
as you got to treat people as individuals, okay? But everybody wants it to be kinder and gentler. And listen,
Why
in
can't?
the world,
What's wrong with that?
I don't know
Well, what
what's
do you
wrong
want
with
it to be, if not
I
kinder and gentler?
I don't want it to be anything. It is what it is.
Angrier and more abrasive.
It's a dog-eat-dog world out there,
Doggy dog.
and everybody's wearing milk-bone underwear. All right, so it is a fist
Don't
fight
laugh
out
at
there.
that.
It is a fist fight out
That's
there.
funny. I'm sorry. You're right.
And people are trying to come up, and and working hard sometimes isn't just the only thing that can get you there. And there's got to be politicking and all. I hate politicking. I hate all that nonsense. I used to work with another guy at one time. We were elevator supervisors, and this guy didn't know his ass from third base, but he was a big politicker, and he was a big tattletale and a snitch. And everybody, like the other managers, liked him because they figured that they could use him to see what was going on. Like he was like a nanny cam. All right. And then he ended up moving up, even though he was a moron. So what do you do? And he's a guy, and he was a white guy. So, I mean, it's just the same thing. So if you're going to wade into the workforce, now all of a sudden you wade in, now you want to change all the rules. Well, who are you? You just got here.
Okay.
When you become the big boss, you can change the
women
rules.
did not just get there to the workforce.
And
B,
wait,
that
wait.
guy sounds like a real douche nozzle.
He
so your
is.
issues with him.
Right. There he is. He was.
But that's a personal
Douche
issue.
nozzle is awesome.
And women can be douche nozzles too. It's okay.
No doubt.
Right.
I'll start listing them right now.
All right.
You want to
I
start
mean,
this list?
some women go to school functions and tell them that they're terrible parents because they don't follow their kids' social media.
Are you saying I'm on the top of the douche nozzle list? Is that what you're saying?
I did not name names. But what I'm saying here
no,
is...
you didn't name names, but you definitely implied something.
So...
Are you saying I'm at the top of that
I'm
list?
saying that. Is she a douche nozzle?
You
Is
want
that what you're
feedback?
saying?
I'm getting you feedback. I'll have a bunch of angry ladies
Hey,
calling
put
us
it
back.
on Facebook. Shut
Right.
it. We don't have a call-in show.
So here's the thing.
Let's have a call-in
What's
show.
happening right now?
Well, okay. Everybody calm down a second. So let me... I was kind of riffing here. I was kind of riffing
Everybody
here.
take a sip.
Sorry.
And I was
Everybody take a sip.
being ironic, and I was being what's the other word I'm looking for? I was being disingenuous. I was being disingenuous a lot of this. But what I'm saying is that, you know, when you say something like, all right, if you don't want to do this and you unfollow me, I unfollow. As soon as you say, if you don't like this, unfollow me, I immediately unfollow them. Not just you, Jessica. Anybody that does that, I'm like, okay, there you go. You're gone.
Yeah, but I'm not just anyone.
I know. Well, I was waiting.
I
for,
don't appreciate
here's the thing.
that.
But here's the thing. I was waiting for you to tell me, hey, you unfollowed me. And you never did.
I'm never on Facebook.
Okay, so then what's the big deal? You came on to make your big diatribe, to make your big statement, and then you leave. You're like the person that comes in and says, I'm leaving Facebook. And you make this big, like, just leave. You make this big giant
First of all,
thing about
I
how
don't do that. I hate when people
I know.
do that.
I know.
I hate
They
that.
come in and they go, let me tell you something. I'm
And you
leaving
know
Facebook.
I hate that, as a
And
matter
I'm telling
of fact.
all of you why I'm leaving Facebook. It's all of you. You're the ones that are doing this.
You
Yes.
did this to me.
This is a
Right.
great bit, by the way.
Yes.
Listen,
Write it down.
you don't unfriend me. I didn't know you unfriended me because I see you in podcast. I mostly see you commenting in podcasting groups, and I did. So I wouldn't have noticed because I still see your little face
So
answering
actually,
questions.
it would have been better because you didn't see me, like, because we have different political views, you and I.
So what?
I'm just
though?
saying, sometimes
I
you
don't
get
think we
annoyed
do.
by my political views. I know Melissa does.
I do.
That's right.
I do. Yeah, I do.
See?
I do.
I don't always think you have those views. I think you're just an angry MFer.
No, it's the truth, though. I don't think I'm angry. I just have I don't mind putting my views out there. A lot of people are hypocrites. They
Angry and entitled. That's you.
really, I'm entitled.
She wrote you a jingle, dude.
You know something?
Angry and entitled.
I'll tell you what. If being white got me all this, then I'll tell you what. That's really doing something.
What, a house that smells like an old man?
Yes, that's what it got me.
You haven't been there yet. Don't judge until you've been there.
He said it smells like old man. That's why he got candles, or he got
I
the
don't
squirty
remember an
spray.
old
I got an
man
air
smell.
freshener that sprays every 45 seconds or something like that. No,
'Cause
every
of old
45
man?
I
minutes.
didn't remember any kind of smell, but again, my nose may
We'll see.
never have worked.
Right. I
You
got
and
to,
Stu, no
yeah,
sense
see,
of
if I'm
smell.
going to date somebody, I got to hope that their heart is smelling.
I think every man thinks that.
Right.
I don't know if that's true. I don't think your house smell. I think your
It does it now.
Worst.
Well, listen, I have someone come clean it every 2 weeks.
yeah, it's your ex-wife, which is hilarious.
Hey, listen, I pay her. She does a job, and she doesn't give me any lip. It was better than being
Did she-
married to her.
Did she never she never lived in that house with you though, right?
That is a bit too. Write that down.
What's this?
She never lived in that house with you, right?
Oh, no. She lives in the house I bought before, the one I paid for before.
What's great about John's house is that right outside it says Buchanan's Auto, so you know right where to go.
Yeah, it's true.
If you, in case you're worried about getting lost, there's a big old sign with his last name on it,
Right.
and you think this can't be it. Oh, I guess it is. This is it.
The best joke I've ever heard is, I forget who even said it. They said, listen, the next time I'm going to get married or I feel like getting married, I'm just going to find a woman I hate and buy her a house. See? So,
That's a good
Mhm.
one.
Alrighty then. Ooh, are we ready for a mother story?
sure.
Okay. Yes.
Whose mom's worse? Is that what we're playing? No
Yes.
no jingle for that. So think of one, Jess.
Whose
my-
mom is where? It's never going to be my mom. She was dipped in gold and bronze. She was wonderful.
Oh, so I've
Go
already
ahead.
won. I can
Yes.
just drop the mic and walk
She's
away.
she was absolutely out of her mind, but she was great.
Right.
Okay.
So when Melissa's mother dies, then she'll be great because whenever someone's mother
Mhm.
dies, that's
Maybe.
they move up the ladder. And
Is that the rule? I'm not sure that's the rule, but all right, let's go with it. So let
I
me hear
don't-
about your mother.
So my mother is a Francophile.
Is she?
She is.
I don't
She
even
just,
know what that is.
It means
It
she
means she's
loves
obsessed with all things French.
all things French. So she can be
Yeah.
mid-conversation and a French-ish word is in the sentence. And it's like she strokes out, becomes French, and then American again. So we antagonize the fuck out of her.
Strokes out.
And my kids have caught on to this game pretty quickly. So she will say, oh, yes, I saw on Facebook somebody was in France and they were running this race that went by the Arc de Triomphe. And we all tilt our heads and think. My kids look at each other like, what the fuck just happened to Gams? I have no idea what just happened to her. And I said, that's what she does. So we try to think of other things. I said, hey, Stu, do you remember when you graduated from med school and somebody gave you that special pen? What's that called? Mom, do you remember what that pen's called? And she goes, oh, you must be talking about the Mont Blanc. I said, pardon? The
Mont Blanc.
The Mont Blanc. I said, right. And my kids have wet themselves by now. They're rolling on the floor. And I said, hey, do you remember when we were in Boston and in the hotel and we went to go get breakfast at that little pastry place in the basement of the hotel? Yes, called En Bon Pain. And she goes,
En Bon Pain, that's so funny.
So she says, oh, I know that place. It's En Bon Pain. Yes.
Hey, Mom,
Gams.
remember that cartoon where that skunk was always trying to make out with that cat? Oh, you mean
Pepe.
That would be Pepe Le Pew.
Yes. Yes. But our favorite by far is the Arc de Triomphe. We can't let that go. And every time they see her.
That is damn funny. I
Every time.
want to see your mom again just so I can think up something French to say.
And then eventually she says,
Bonjour, madame.
are you making fun of me? And my kids
really.
are in puddles of their own tears and pee. And they're like, no, Gams, we are not making fun of you.
So,
No, Gams.
Here's the funny thing about this is that I'm sitting here and I'm watching these two, and as Melissa goes for the French word, she takes and thrusts.
She makes a
She
horrible.
thrusts her
Help!
mouth right at the camera, and you see her tongue and her teeth. And I was like, God, how
It's
I mean, how hard must the French
your
be to
face into
speak?
like a pretzel.
It's like, it was.
I'm telling you.
How many
Yes.
times has she been to France?
We took a stroll down the.
Le temps for the Arc de Triomphe.
Oh my God!
That's
The
funny.
neck,
Yes.
the neck stretches, and the holy mackerel.
That's really funny.
Yeah. So anytime you see her, Jess, in the future, if she ever comes north again, you will definitely test out the she thinks
I'm
she's
sure I'll
French
never see her
theory.
again.
Yeah. She thinks she. I don't know that I will.
Probably
If
the
we
next
don't
time
go
I'll
to Florida.
see your mother is at one of your children's weddings.
Yeah, probably. That'll do it.
Yeah, I don't think I have any reason to see her in between now and then.
We could all go to Florida.
That'll get her north of the Mason-Dixon line, a wedding.
I don't know. We'll
Not with
see.
me.
We can all go to Florida. We'll go to
Anyway.
Fort Myers and camp out there.
There you go. All right, ladies.
All right, I think it's time for me to retire my head.
Yeah.
Wrap it up,
for a little
slip it,
while.
rub it down. Oh no.
Something that hurts.
The girl is
Because now we
gonna
have-
do me.
We have two files. Oh, geez, I hope you didn't drop the first file. I hope everybody saved the first file.
I saved the first one.
I saved the first file.
Beautiful. Okay.
I do
good.
what I'm told.
There we go.
I do what I'm told. I don't know why it never goes in there, but I do what I'm
I
told.
picked up my
What are you
Mont Blanc
talking
pen.
about? It doesn't go in there.
I don't know. My stuff never goes in there for you. I don't know why.
Mont Blanc.
Oh, in the Dropbox. Yes.
Mont Blanc.
That's a
Mont
problem.
Blanc. Mont Blanc.
Hey, put it in the Dropbox.
Mont Blanc.
In the Dropbox, it does not go.
What about Madeline? Remember when we went to Madeline's in New Orleans? Did she say La Madeleine?
She would say it all. Oh, I don't even know that
Madeleine.
it qualifies because between French Canadian and French New Orleansy French and Paris, she's just it's like she's in her hog heaven when she goes there and she can say, I'm going to get a croissant. Would anybody like a croissant? No, we're good. We're going to get a bagel. No need for a croissant
That's
when
right.
you can have a good bagel.
Right. Nothing like a good bagel.
Bagel. Get it
All
right,
right.
John.
I can't. I'm just going to go with what I do.
I can't. All
Right.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, ladies. Let's wrap it up.
Okay.
Where
Here
could
we
you find
go.
us?
That is the Pod Shell in a Nutcast. Please find us on brilliantobservations.com. You can also find us at Listen Brilliant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please send us any feedback at brilliantobservations@gmail.com. And it was a delight just to entertain you for a little while. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Melissa and John for showing up today and being their funniest selves. And see you guys next time.
Bye.